today has been a day. It started off with me waking up way too early considering how late I went to sleep. And I had this big orange bastard laying on my chest. When he realized I was on my back, he's like, "Hey, I'm going to lay on your chest." He weighs dang near 20 pounds. Bees. So I get up and I know that my roommate is getting ready for, this girl he's talking to come over, and they're going to have a visit. And it had already been decided that, like, if it was raining outside or whatever, that I was going to be here, even though that might be awkward. But, I got my little sanctuary, which I cleaned up pretty good. I mean, I've still got, like, some work to do, but I did get a lot of stuff done, and including setting up a camera. And, so I decided, like, even though it's raining, when she got here and I met her, like, I was outside when she showed up. And I decided, well, I'll throw my donations back in the trunk, get that taken care of. And I'll just go to my thrift store, and I guess I'll go visit my daughter. And I get to the thrift store, and I see that, like, all the parking spaces that are close to where you take your donations to are off. Like, they're filled up. And so I go to get out of my car, and I've got one of these wallets that it's like a plastic wallet with, like, a little clasp on it, and I dropped it, and all of my cards flew under my car. Now it's raining, so I have to get down on my hands and knees to try to drag all these cards out from under my car. So my knees were getting all wet. And then at a certain point, I was like, well, I can't reach this one. And so I was like, what do I have? Like, I don't have a hanger. I don't have anything to, like, drag this other one. So I found, like, a little piece of plastic in the trunk. I mean, in the car. And I was like, okay, and then I got my arm wet because I had to, like, really get down and stretch to pull the card to me. So I go in there and do my little bit of shopping with the intention that I'm going to tell them, like, hey, I got some donations. But I was like, when I was done shopping, I was like, nah, I'm kind of done. And so go over to my daughter's house, or my ex-husband's house, where my daughter is living with her family, and visit with the babies. And of course she starts to cook. And one thing about Cicely is when she's cooking, Cicely wants to be held. Well, it's really hard to cut leeks and carrots and such while you're holding a baby that's trying to grab everything. So Cicely's just sitting on the floor, just screaming her freaking head off. So I pick her up, and we're watching her mom cut things. And, like, there had been a certain point, I was sitting in the chair, and a little girl comes crawling up. She stands up in front of me. She just gives me this smile with these beautiful blue eyes. And I'm just like, it's like I'm looking at my second kid. I swear at that moment, I was straight up seeing Iz. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. And while I'm sitting there, my little camera notification goes off. And normally when it goes off, it's the cats. The cats are always just running around. And I caught some hallway footage of the cats and other things. Okay, I'm not going to say any more about that. So on the way home, I'm thinking about this current person that I hung out with on Saturday, and I was like, man, we've got like we really click when we're around each other, but, like, the texting is just like, I'll say something about something, like we're supposed to hang out Saturday night. And like anytime I mention like, hey, if this goes on and that goes on, you can come over Friday and then I can come over Saturday, like I'm just trying to like see like, hey, if everything aligns correctly, are you open to these possibilities? And those are not being addressed at all. Like this morning, I sent good morning and I get hey back. And I was like, okay, that's not good morning. That's just hey. And so I said, well, I hope you have a great day at work. Now this was like at 7:00 in the morning. And like I knew he'd been at work since 5. So I started heading home and it's like 1:00 and I haven't heard anything from this person. And I'm like, like, where's the connection? Like, where's the click? Because like when we're around each other, everything is perfect. Like I am completely free to be myself. Like there are certain parts of me that are always going to be closed up, that are never going to come out. But around most people, you wear a mask, and that's just how everybody is. You wear a mask and you want to be around people where you can take that sucker off and just be you and not be concerned that they're, especially when you know that person is somebody who actually likes the things about you that you normally have to keep to yourself. Like when they actually are like, I like that about you. It's like, what? I've been told that's what's wrong with me my whole life. Like when I say something like that or I act that way, people say, what's wrong with you? And it's not in a, what the hell is wrong with you? You're screwed up. Like it's not in a nice way. It's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like there's so much judgment in it. So when you're around people that you can take that mask off and feel like, hey, I can be myself, which is so freaking freeing in a world full of judgment. And so I'm sitting there thinking, it's like, I think by the time I walked in my house, it was like 1:30 or 2, and I'm like, I ain't heard shit. And I started to cry because like, being ignored, being invisible, not being worth the time for somebody to say, hey, I'm on lunch, work's going fine, or work's hectic. Just a simple little text, just a simple something. And I was, and it's like, I don't want to be that girl. I don't want to be that girl who says, pay attention to me. Talk to me. Because when I do, it doesn't go over well. And I don't want to come off as clingy, and I don't want to be that girl. But I also want to feel like I can express when I'm feeling insecure that I do need assurance sometimes, or probably a lot of the time. So I went to sleep. When I woke up, there was a lot that this person said to me, and we ended up having a good phone conversation. But that's how my day's been. And just like I'm just so tired of feeling a certain way and being like, oh, it's okay, I'm used to it. And I hate being used to it.